So following the #JusticeForKwekwe campaign and the not guilty verdict in the Timothy Omotoso trial, outrage at the levels of gender-based violence are heightened once again. Now, the theme for the 17th International Association for Women Judges could not have been more appropriate, and that was Women in Leadership to End Gender-Based Violence and Femicide. Vaylen Kirtley was there and filed this report.
The song and dance before the work begins for women judges from 54 countries around the world at the IAWJ conference. Held in the year of the 70th anniversary of the Freedom Charter and in South Africa's Freedom Month, issues ranging from equality to technology and mental health are set to be discussed. However, the most pressing issue is how judges around the world can play their part in tackling gender-based violence.
Much like there are vectors for diseases, there are gender-based violence and femicide vectors, such as the culture of silence, impunity, and insufficient or poorly applied laws. With respect to applying the law fairly, in the cases of gender-based violence, the composition of the bench matters, particularly with respect to outlook. Of course, what one cannot go by perception or assumption. One can have progressive and reform-minded male jurists as much as one can have conservative, anti-reform female jurists. Yet we strive to ensure there is greater female representation on the bench because it is a transformational imperative.
Failures of justice, such as in the Timothy Omotoso case, has highlighted the fragility of the country's justice system.
What I can say is that increasing capacity and ensuring that we have the right prosecutors with the right skills is important for us as the justice portfolio. Similarly, in terms of, you'd have seen over time, the police, without speaking for Minister Mchunu, but work has been done actually to improve in terms of the DNA environment. You'd have seen the DNA labs being launched and all those things. So there's quite a lot that has been improved, but we've got to actually take from the point where you look at the cases and say, okay, what could be the gaps that would have been identified, and that's why this meeting is important.
The focus on femicide and gender-based violence is not only appropriate and timely for South Africa alone as the host country.
Domestic violence, gender-based violence is a big problem for us. I come from South Australia, and we're having a royal commission into this very topic at the moment to see if we can't find better ways of dealing with it and preventing it. And I think it's the courts have a very large role to play in dealing with the topic, and I'm really interested to come to this conference and find out what my colleagues from around the world are doing in order to address what really is a worldwide pandemic, as the President so rightly said.
People think that New Zealand is a very wealthy society. Like every country, we have our poor, our middle class, and our very, very wealthy, even amongst a country with only 5 million people. So I sit on criminal court and also civil court, and unfortunately one of the largest percentages of crimes would be domestic violence.
The conference runs until Saturday, with the Justice Minister set to meet her police counterpart to discuss the gaps in the Omotoso trial and a way forward in the next 2 weeks. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405 in Cape Town, I'm Vaylen Kirtley.